to Superhuman Customs, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Human. And today, we got something kind of cool. Now, I got this 3-pack with the Supergirl, who you've already seen customized, this Batman, and the Dr. Fate. I got it for $24, which was a steal for 3 figures, but I didn't know what I was going to do with the other 2, but I figured it out. So Batman is going to get turned into a Wolverine figure. Now, I'm very excited for this. I'm not a huge Wolverine fan. I love the X-Men, and Cyclops is my favorite, but Wolverine has always kind of been like secondary. But this Batman is going to make a really cool Wolverine, and we're going to cover up the kind of pea color that he's got on him. I know it's supposed to be like a light, but it looks like he's covered in pea. So we're going to paint this guy. We're going to mold on his head. This is going to be awesome. Let's dive in and make a Wolverine. Had this guy soaking for a few minutes, and so what we're going to do is we're going to remove his cape, because I don't know about you, but I've never seen a Wolverine with a cape before. And so let's just, oh, well, that was unexpected. While he's hot, make sure to get that back in, because that could be a pain to get back in. Oh, there we go. But just yank it out. Well, okay. And, you know, you've seen before, some elbow grease, and it comes out. Maybe. We'll get it out. I promise. And then while we're here, let's just chop off these, because it's easy for them to come off when it's hot. So I finally got the cape off. It took a little bit of time. But now what we're going to do is we're going to mold on. Got some glue in place. We're going to put some milliput on here. And we're going to start forming his like Wolverine spiky things. And I was thinking about removing Batman's ears in order to do this, but then I thought, you know, if I use them as like the base coming off, then they could probably work better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start molding and get these to where he's starting to look like Wolverine. Right now, it's going to look pretty weird, but you start molding and getting it in place. And I'm going to make sure I don't get any glue on my fingers. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to take a little bit of the glue, and on the shoulders, I'm going to add a little bit of milliput as well, and I'm going to form just some accents in his costumes, like the spikes that kind of come down, the stripes, I guess it was a better way to say it. And so I'm just going to put those in place as well, and just start molding some stuff. So this will take a little bit of time, and I'll want to make sure not to get any glue on my fingers, because we've seen how in the past how that's affected the milliput. So yeah, he looks weird right now, but in a few minutes, he'll look pretty cool. Hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut here and make it so that these come to a point. That's it. Nice and simple. So I debated on whether or not to paint white up here first before going with the yellow, because all the yellow paints I've ever used have been pretty thin. But I decided just to go over the black with the yellow and not do anything in the white. And so we'll go through here and get him situated here at the beginning. And I'm using this base Wolverine that was black and yellow. I literally, right before I painted him, I just looked up pictures. And the center here is all yellow. And so then it's black along the edges. So that's all we're going to do, is paint them up that way. Now, we got lucky when we put these on here, because, I mean, a lot of different Wolverines have these little things. But on this one, it ended up being perfect, because they're inside of the black, and they accent him. And so, you know, the happy little accident that we had here. Now, when I posted a picture of him in his his work in progress form before I started painting, or actually after I had painted him and primed him, a lot of people said that I should have made him a Dark Claw, which I think is genius. The problem is that I had already molded all of this, and his face is different, his mask is different. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do a Dark Claw now. I'm going to get a Batman for cheap. You can find him in any number of places. And I am going to do a Dark Claw to match my Super Soldier. So I'm just going to continue painting this guy with the yellow. And you're going to get some slop in places, and that's okay. Just keep going, and you can fix it. But for now, you just need to get coverage and know that you're probably going to need to go over all this with a second coat, because like most yellow paints that I found, these are fairly watery. But I think he's looking nice. It's coming along. Now, in some pictures where he's got this suit, he's got bare arms, and other ones he's got yellow arms. Since this is all very armored, we're going to go with yellow arms down to the gloves here and call it good. You can replace his arms with bare arms or paint them bare. For me, I just think that this is going to look better if I just go with the yellow. Now, like I've done with other characters like this, like the Green Lanterns, is when I have an edge here between two types of paint, what I like to do is add some fabric paint, because it obviously, as you've seen many times, it dries as a plastic, and it adds a layer, a divide between, that makes it look like that's how it always was. So I'm just going through with some yellow, and I'm going to have it go up here, and it acts as a really nice dividing line. And I'll go through all the stuff on the legs, and when this dries, we will have a nice barrier that looks natural, and that's what we're going for. What I'm doing now is just cleaning up some of the black. We're actually getting really close to being done here. And what I've done is I've taken some nails. I've always wanted a Wolverine that has metal claws, not the standard plastic, but metal. So what I found was some nails that were about the perfect length, and I cut off the ends, and we are going to take them and we're going to drill holes in his fists, and we are going to glue them in place. So that is how we are going to make his claws. So let's finish up here with the black, get him so that he looks really good. And then we will add those claws and then spray paint him with a nice clear coat, and Wolverine will be finished. All right, I've never done this before, but we're going to take his hand here and we're going to drill a little hole. And then we're going to drill another one right here over the knuckles. And we're going to drill a third. This seems to be working pretty well. And now let's take one of these and see what we got. Ooh, it seems to go in pretty well. Let's get a second one. And a third. All right, not bad. Not quite equal. We're gonna have to play around with a little bit, but not a bad start for Wolverine claws. All right, the holes are all in place. The claws themselves look pretty good, and now it is just time to add some glue and stick them in, if I can get the glue out. Oh, whoa, that's a bit much, more than I wanted. Let's take some of that over here on these ones. Not bad, glued in place. I'm liking this. Wolverine with metal claws. There we have it. From Batman to Wolverine. Were there ever two characters that merged so beautifully as this one? Because he is a great Wolverine, and I've always wanted to have a Wolverine with metal claws. The Wolverines that I have, I only have a couple. Their claws are always like mangled and just, they look terrible. These are always gonna look perfect because they're nails and they look great on this guy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very excited for the next few weeks. I have found a Batman figure that we're gonna use to turn into a Dark Claw in the coming weeks, and we'll use some of these same techniques. That one's going to be a lot of fun, so keep it here. Remember, check out StephenHuman.com for all of my novels. I am a sci-fi thriller novel. And check out Quimbleys.com for all of your Peterson Games stuff, your Cthulhu Wars, all of that. I'm Stephen Human with Superhuman Customs. See you guys next week.